Good afternoon. Thank you for coming in. I have you scheduled for a scalp exam for itchiness and discomfort. When did these problems seemingly arise? Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you typically rate the average discomfort? Okay. With your permission, if we can get right to it, I'd like to take a very good close look of your scalp with a light. I use just a couple of different tools, primarily a illuminated ear pick, and I know that these are intended for ears, but this will allow me to very delicately sift through your hair, make sure that I can get a very good, accurate look at your scalp, your hair follicles, and such. Okay. Is there anything that you'd like me to know before we start the exam? Any areas of discomfort that you want me to avoid? Tenderness, anything like that? Okay. I'm going to put some nitrile gloves on and get started. Okay. This is going to require me to get a little bit close to you. Is that going to be okay? Okay. If that changes at any point, let me know. I'm just going to start before I comb your hair, before I do anything that's going to disturb what's naturally there. I'm just going to look through your hair real closely, okay? So if I use the tips of my fingers here, if I pull on the hair a little bit and just move it from side to side here, does any of this cause discomfort? Okay. And where would you say your biggest problem area is, or the area of the most discomfort? Okay, towards the back. Okay, and also in the front. Okay. And now in the last couple of weeks, have you gone swimming, or have you been in an environment where you might have exposure to a lot of moisture, things like ponds, outdoor activities, things like that? Okay. Take a look here in the front. Do you mind tilting your head down just a little bit? Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely tell that you have a little bit of dryness. Whether or not that is widespread and if it goes through your entire scalp. Okay. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time going through your hair, okay? Just back behind your ear here. Does this area itch? No? Okay. But it does feel tender. Okay. Is it uncomfortable? Okay. Yeah, if you want me to scratch it or anything like that, just let me know. Yeah, we're trying to get the full picture here. And I can see that you do have some skin that is slightly displaced, like it has been scratched, or if you brush your hair real hard. Using the brush on the scalp itself. We have the same that's going on over here. Okay. I'm going to take a comb and just kind of organize your hair a little bit differently. I'm going to part it in certain areas so that I can see longer stretches of the scalp, okay? Okay. I'm just going to start here by your ear. I'm going to scratch with my fingertip here just a little bit. Okay, does that itch? Okay. And let's try another portion here. Okay, just going to use my fingertip. You would get some skin that's coming off there, so that would indicate just a dry scalp. It could be something as simple as a dry scalp, but it can also be due to something like an infection. Okay. I'm going to try on your left side here again. Same process. We've got the same going on over here. And a little bit further in the back here. I mean, it looks like dandruff. And dandruff is usually pretty easy to take care of, but as a precaution, I'm going to take a little bit of a skin sample and check it for anything that's microbial. Just as a precaution, I'm going to take a little bit of a skin sample and see if it's anything that could be fungal, bacterial, just in case there's like an underlying issue other than just dry scalp. Okay. So to do that, I'm going to use my illuminated pick. Just scratch the surface a little bit. Put that on a strip. I'm going to take a cotton swab. Just going to scuff that off a little bit. Okay. That's not too irritating, is it? You're alright? Okay. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just going to scuff up the area here and see if I can get a little bit of skin to flake off. I'm going to take a cotton swab and see if I can get a sample of that. Okay, good job. So that actually feels pretty good, huh? Okay. And I'm going to do this for several areas of the scalp just so that we can get a couple of different samples. Is that alright? I'm going to start by brushing your hair just so that it doesn't pull or tug or cause any additional discomfort, okay? Okay. know, we don't want to tangle the hair and cause any more discomfort. Sorry about that. Hair on your side here, and then we're going to do the same with the illuminated pick. Just kind of rough up the surface area a little bit, okay? It's just going to part the hair. Just take a really close look and see. Just move the hair around a little bit. Get a closer look at the side, just a little farther down. And this does seem to be most evident in the areas where you'd very likely sweat more. Do you use any kind of scalp treatments or anything like that? Just normal shampoo? Do you use conditioner? Part the hair again. Just going to take a couple of samples here with the cotton swabs. That's a good amount on this side. So I'm going to try to reach around to the back, a little bit closer to your neck. And you're going to do the same thing, okay? Okay. I'm going to get a little bit close. Is that alright? Okay. Just let me know if you're uncomfortable, alright? Okay. Just going to try to get a little bit more towards the area where we typically have a little bit more moisture that gets trapped towards our skin. Sorry, is this a ticklish area? Sorry, maybe I'll use a little bit more pressure so it's not so bothersome, okay? most. That does look like some of the areas that are most affected. So I'm going to do the same on your left side. Is that all right? I'm going to start with the comb here, just kind of make the hair a little easier to work with. You get a lot more inflammation going on this side. What do you typically use on your scalp or your hair? I mean, shampoo and conditioner, yes, but do you use any other hairsprays or gels, mousse, anything like that? Okay. How about today? Have you used any of those products? I'm going to go back to using the illuminated pick and just kind of scratching the surface a little bit here. Get a little bit closer here. Just parting the hair a little bit more. Go a little higher here and see if I can get this area a little bit better here too. Okay, I'll use a little bit more pressure if it's ticklish, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna take that Q-tip and see if I can get any of the area here. I'm going to focus on the front area here, right where your hairline meets your forehead. Is that okay? Okay. Just relax. It itches, I'm sorry. I think that gives us a pretty good amount of samples for the area here, so. Do you feel okay? One of the things that I can offer would be to do something like a preliminary scalp treatment, even without knowing whether or not this is something that might need to be medically treated, like a fungal infection or bacterial infection. At the very least, I can make you a little bit more comfortable. Do you have any kind of allergies to things like coconut or coconut oil, any oils that you're aware of? Just going to take a cleaning wipe here, wipe the areas that I've agitated a little bit, and then with your permission we can move on to the scalp treatment. At the very least it'll bring you some more comfort. Okay, it's quite lovely, I promise. Just back to the back. Kind of soothes the scalp a little bit. Okay, to the back. With your permission, I'd like to apply a scalp treatment. Do you have any kind of allergies to any kind of oils, coconut oil in particular? Okay. It goes on as a balm. It gets worked into the skin and it becomes a very malleable, nice liquid and non-drip treatment. So, and we can provide you with a head covering or a hat or something that can make it a little bit more manageable. I usually recommend leaving it on the scalp for anywhere between 3 to 5 hours, although you can wash it off sooner if it gets to be problematic. So, it's a nice balm base like this. And at the very least, it'll make you a lot more comfortable with any of the itchiness. I'm going to start just by dabbing it in the areas that we're most concerned about. So back here by the back of the scalp, and also by the ears. Just kind of dabbing it in the front ear. And again by your ears. And the back of the scalp. Okay, I'm just going to use my fingertips and lightly kind of massage it in. Is that okay? Okay. Start at the top. And the base of your neck here. The ears tend to be the ear areas that you mentioned are the most inconvenient. Okay. Really try to permeate that into the skin. Area where your neck is. Does it feel okay? Just going to comb your hair, kind of get it back into a nice, neat and orderly fashion. Okay. It's a very subtle aroma. It's quite nice. It is kind of heavy. Yeah. Does it feel okay though? It's very calming. be in touch in the next couple of days and let you know the results of some of our diagnostics. If there's anything that needs to be treated medically, if it's fungal, bacterial, anything like that, I'll be in touch and we'll make sure that we can get you treated for that. Okay. Well, I hope that this can alleviate some of the discomfort and can be a pleasant experience. Okay, lovely. I'll be in touch with you very soon.